Hi, this is Reverend Tim Lytle, Senior Minister here at Unity and Marin. Happy Easter. And even though this is a very unusual time in our lives with the COVID-19 response, I know that there is a power that is greater than our circumstances. There is a power that is greater than anything that is going on regarding our finances or regarding health, regarding our conditions in life. There is a power that is greater than all of that. That is what this whole Easter story is about. The crucifixion and rising up out of the tomb, rising up into new life. Please stay tuned as I will be giving a message about, is this the tomb or is it the womb? But for now, I'd like for you to join us in our singing. We will have our choir from here at Unity and Marin singing, and this is from the 2019 Easter service. Please join with us if you wish to stand or clap or sing out the window so all of your neighbors can hear. Please join with us as we sing together, Christ the Lord is risen today. Again, I am Reverend Tim Lytle, Senior Minister here at Unity and Marin, and we want to welcome you here, wherever you're at, whether it's Taiwan, Nigeria, France, or just down the street. We're so happy that you have come to be with us, and what I can promise you is that you will receive some spiritual upliftment, some faith, some encouragement by joining with us today. I would like to encourage you to go to the text in church number that we are showing on the slide. This number you can go to will be a way that you can connect with us by text and by email. So if you go to that number and text the word welcome if you are new to us, or text the word loop if you've been with us a while, because that is a means that we help keep you up to date as to things that are going on here at Unity in Marin. And there are a lot of things going on here. There is Janice Campbell's Receive Your Life class. Janice Campbell has a good group of people that meet on Zoom at 11:15 on Sundays. So 11:15 every Sunday, Janice Campbell. And also, Reverend Medora Gordon is teaching Eye of the Storm, and this is on Tuesdays from 1 until 3:30. Now, if you want any of those links to these various things, please go to our website, unityandmarin.org, and go up to events. You go to events and you look at some of the things that are happening, and we will post the different links where you can connect to these activities, because there's a lot of classes coming up. Tom McAuliffe will be teaching a meditation class. Linda Anderson Henry will be teaching spiritual economics about prosperity and abundance. We have a lot of classes coming up, so please check out our website. Also, this coming Wednesday, Ananta Govindadas and myself, many of you know Ananta Govindadas by the name Alex. He is our marketing director. He and I, this Wednesday at 7:15, will do Kirtan Lounge, where we will have some specially produced Kirtan music. Alex Ananta Govindadas is a music producer, and so this is professionally done music that he has put together with other musicians and singers, and he and I will have an interview between these beautiful pieces of Sanskrit singing, which help really to up-level our heart, up-level our energy. And we will be talking about that. So please join us on Facebook, on our website, on our YouTube channel at 7:15. And wherever you're watching us, if you're watching us on Facebook, please share this video with others and let others know we're on Facebook. If you are on the YouTube channel, I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and go up to the bell and click on that. That way you will be automatically notified whenever we are live streaming. However you watch us, please let others know about us. And then I want to let you know that at 10:45 on Sundays and at 12:30, we will have virtual courtyard. That's what I'm now calling it. It is a time of Zoom meeting together. People get to see each other because we miss being with each other. And it's a time for me to connect with each of you. So at 10:45 and at 12:30 each Sunday, we'll have virtual courtyard for questions, just getting together or checking in. And now at this time, we will hear from our choir, who will sing our statement of truth. At this time, I'd like for us to prepare for our time of prayer. I have the prayer box up here. This is the prayer box that typically the prayer chaplains would bring up, and that we would place our prayer requests into. I would ask you to virtually place your prayer requests in the prayer box. Maybe you have a prayer box at home and you can place it there. But we know that wherever we are in this whole situation, that God is there. No matter what situation you may be facing, you may be having a challenging time financially. You may have lost your job. You may be furloughed. You may have had your hours reduced. You may be wondering how things are going to work out. Maybe you have loved ones who are very critically ill. I don't know what is going on in your life. But what I do know is that where you are, God is. There is no spot where God is not. And I invite you to take a deep breath and join with me as we move into this inner space, this presence of God. Right where we are, God is. Spirit, we open our hearts. We open our hearts to this divine presence that is always with us. This presence that lives itself as us. We know that this presence touches every cell of our bodies, bringing health and wholeness. We know that in this presence, we experience abundance and prosperity. We know in this presence that we are truly connected with everyone on our planet. We pray for our planet. We lift up our entire planet right now, knowing that this experience is leading us into something greater yet to be. We join our prayers together for our spiritual community, for our own needs, and for our entire world as we go into a time of silent meditation and prayer. And Spirit, we know that where we are, you are. We give thanks. Regardless of the circumstances, we know that there is a power greater that is propelling us forward to magnificence, to new life, to resurrection. And for this we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. And I want to say that if you have a prayer request, you can call our main number, 415-475-5000. And then press 8, and you can leave a message, and that will go to our prayer chaplains, and they will hold that in prayer. Again, that's 415-475-5000, and then press 8. Also, you can email a prayer request for our silent prayer circle. And so you just email silentprayercircle@unityandmarin.org. And you can email us your prayer requests. We want to stay connected with you. And so at this time, we will now hear our choir. My topic today is this the tomb or is this the womb? I think all of us would agree that this is a very challenging time in human history. Humanity has gone through different phases throughout our history. There have been times where there were plagues or there was some pandemic, but in our time, this is especially unique to have this kind of pandemic. There are many people whose jobs have been affected. There are people whose income has been affected. There are those who are scared and who are struggling. You might say that we are in a tomb experience. Let me explain. As we look at the Easter story, we have Jesus riding in on a donkey into Jerusalem. People are waving palm branches and shouting, Hosanna, but he comes knowing that he will probably die as a result of coming back to Jerusalem. And he's coming back out of a spirit of service. He's coming back to do that which he knows he is called to do. He knows that this is a very serious time, even though people are shouting Hosanna and waving their palm branches. And then that following Friday, he is taken to a cross to be crucified, what we call Good Friday. And we know that the cross symbolizes crossing out those things in our lives that we are wanting to release and let go of. It's crossing out those things so that we can move forward into new life. As Jesus goes on the cross, it represents each of us crucifying or letting go of those aspects of our adverse ego that no longer serve us. And then he goes into the tomb. When we go through a challenging time like what we're experiencing right now, it is a kind of crossing out of the way things used to be. It's a type of crossing out of knowing that we're all going to be here on Sunday morning gathered together, because right now that's not the case. We have to think ahead about going to the bank or going to the grocery store. For some of us, it's not safe to go out. So we have others who can assist us and help us to bring groceries. It's a challenging time. So in many ways, we're crossing out the way things used to be. Many of us collectively are going through a time of grief. As I look at the followers of Jesus, the disciples, they were in a time of grief after he was crucified. They didn't know what was going on, and they didn't know what the future held in store for them. Neither do we. And many of us are in this collective sense of grief, this sense of not knowing what's going to happen, of having let go of the way things were. And again, there are homeless around us. There are homeless that are part of our spiritual community. There are homeless around the world. There are others who are wondering how they're going to pay their rent. There are those who are wondering how they are going to make ends meet. And so there are some people who are scared, who are in anxiety. And even if you're not, even if this is a time of reflecting and introspection and going deeper in your life, no matter what it is, collectively, as humanity, right now, we're in a kind of grief phase. Letting go of the way things were. Letting go of what we knew. Knowing that something new will come out of that. A long time ago, when I was going through a very challenging time in my life, I moved into some very low-income housing. It was in Wichita, Kansas, and it was adequate housing. I was grateful to have shelter. As I had mentioned before, there was a short period of my life in seminary where I actually lived in my car. Very short period of time, very difficult, disorienting time in my life. But at this other point in my life, having shelter, I was grateful for. I was surrounded by people who maybe were abusing drugs and alcohol and the mentally ill, but I was thankful to have a place to live. As I moved into that place, there was a little flower bed in front of that apartment. And someone had given to me a bunch of bulbs that you could plant. And this was in the fall, like in October. And so I planted these bulbs. They were like hyacinths and narcissus and different kinds of plants that would come up. I planted them, and that flower bed just happened to be about the size and shape of where you would place a coffin. And so I dug this big hole about the size of where you would put a coffin, and I put in all these bulbs. I knew that I was going through a time of grief, that I was going through a time of difficulty. But what I knew was that, yes, I was going through a time of winter. I was going into a time of challenge and grief, but I knew that new life was going to come up out of that. And in the spring, all those flowers came up. It was so pretty. Others in that neighborhood didn't necessarily plant things, but I was so grateful to see these bright flowers come up and remind me that no matter how the situation looks, there is new life. Right now, collectively, in some ways, we're in the tomb. We're in that tomb with Jesus, where we are introspective, where we are reflecting, where we are looking at, what is my life about? Where do I go forward to now? What will this spiritual community be? What will my individual life be? What will my culture be? What will the world be? We're in that kind of tomb experience. There is a speaker, author, civil rights activist, and lawyer, Valarie Kaur, that I admire a great deal. You can look her up online. She has a wonderful project called the Revolutionary Love Project. Valarie Kaur, K-A-U-R. And she asked this question, what if it's not the tomb, but the womb? That is, what if we are in the womb? What if this darkness or this time of grief is a period of time where we're going to give birth to something new? And that is the story of the resurrection, coming up out of the tomb to new life. What if this darkness, this grief, is a womb that we are in, where we are going to rise up into something even greater? There is a wonderful unity teacher by the name of Mandy Odlin. She is now leading a spiritual community in Colorado. And she wrote this book entitled, What If It All Goes Right? We are so used to on the news talking about all the things that are going wrong until you get to the end of the news and they talk about some things that are going right. But are we getting locked into that pattern of looking at all that is going wrong? Mindy Odlin encouraged us to do a process called what if upping. What if this is leading us to something even better? What if humanity needed to reboot, needed a correction because we were so caught up in greed, abusing our planet, abusing each other? What if this is a wake-up call? What if we're coming up out of the tomb? What if we're giving birth to something out of the womb? What if this is leading us to something greater than we could have ever imagined? What if this is a time of introspection, a time of going deeper in your spiritual practice, really using spiritual principles so that you will rise up like the phoenix out of the ashes, and you will be even stronger, you will have new direction, you will have an even greater life than you imagined possible. What if? Try what if upping. It's amazing, because what happens when we do this is that God, the universe, begins to align with that which we are focusing on, and our spirit connects to our source, to abundance, to health, to connection, to things working for us. When we know that truly there is only one power and one presence, we know that nothing can come against us. That's why Paul in Romans chapter 8 said, if God be for us, who can be against us? This is a time for us to rise up out of the ashes. I know for a fact that there's one power and one presence. I know for a fact that that presence has all health, wholeness, abundance. I know for a fact that that presence is with you as with me. That presence is no respecter of persons. So we need to use and appropriate that presence to bring forth the highest and best in our lives. Instead of feeling like victims, we need to come up out of the tomb, come out of the womb, knowing we are giving birth to something new. The resurrection story of Jesus speaks to me strongly of that power that is within us that helps us to rise up out of the most difficult of circumstances. I can think of many times, and you probably can too, times in your life where you struggled. Times in your life where you wondered if you could keep going. Times where you wondered how you were going to make it. The Easter story is the story for our day. That we are not victims to our circumstances, but we are going to rise up out of them. That there is a power greater working through us and as us. We are giving birth to something new. Be encouraged. Be encouraged knowing that whatever you're experiencing in your life, it is helping to lead to something even greater. And let us connect with others. Let us reach out to others. Let us call others and check on them and see how they're doing. Let us continue to build community with the entire world and with each other. We are in this together. We will make it together. We are going to come through this together, and we will rise up together. Thank you, and happy Easter. And at this time, I would like to lead you in some affirmations. So, right where you're at home, if you would repeat after me. No circumstances have power over me, because where I am, God is. Where I am, health is. Where I am, abundance is. Where I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. I want to share some good news with you. Would you like some good news? I mean, I can sure use good news. I want you to know that we are receiving a wonderful gift. Now, the sad news is it is coming because we have a couple of wonderful people who are moving away from our area, moving away to Colorado, Mel and Sam Engel. And we thank you, Mel and Sam, for all the ways in which you've contributed financially, in your time, in lots of volunteer efforts. The Engels have put a lot into this church over the years. And they're a great example of really showing how to support and love one's church. As their parting legacy to this church, they are donating a matching gift of $38,000. And what I will be sending out to you is a letter explaining this, but we will be matching dollar for dollar. If I give, for example, $1,000, then the Engels match that $1,000. So my $1,000 becomes $2,000. So they are going to give up to $38,000. And we can double that amount by matching it. I will be explaining that again in a letter that will be going out. But I want you to be thinking about how you would like to contribute. You may not be able to contribute much right now. When I was going through some of those tough times, I would still continue to give, but I couldn't give always at the same level. Do what is right for you. Do what Spirit calls you to do, what fits you. But whatever size of contribution, we're grateful for. In whatever ways you can support this church, we are grateful for. And again, you can go to our website. There is a donate button. And if you go to that donate button, there are different things that you can check on there. There are different things you can give to. And one of those is this matching gift fund, which is called the Mel and Sam Engel Matching Gift Fund. So you can give towards that. We just want to thank you all for the ways in which you continue to support this spiritual community, because this spiritual community is about supporting all of us. And it's about us being able to continue to operate and pay our employees. We thank you for your gifts. We thank you for all the prayer support, for your love, and we bless your offering. We bless your giving. We bless you. I want to wish you a very, very happy Easter. Thank you for being with us. Have the best day of your life from every day from now on. And if you ever get discouraged, start what-if-upping. What if this is leading to my highest good? What if this is leading to even greater unfoldment for me? What if? Start doing that and watch what happens. God bless you.
Hello, Unity and Marin. This is Mel.
And I'm Sam. We are the Engels. We're here to talk to you about the fact that we are moving to Colorado to be with most of our family. And although we are very sad to be leaving our beloved Unity Marin community, we are just as happy to be going to Colorado. We are going to talk just briefly about the Engel Legacy Matching Gift Fund that Tim has announced. It's an opportunity to invest, as we have, with our treasure to the services of Unity and Marin. We hope that you will join us in that.
There's some difficult times that we're experiencing right now, and we see it every day as we're closeted in our homes. And the church is in a situation where this is a place to go for spiritual growth and for peace and quiet. And we really know that God is with us all the time. And this is an opportunity to rededicate financially to this great institution, so it will continue on as it has over the years. So this is a legacy that we'd like to be able to have available for you and for the rest of the church. So please contribute to the cause as we have, and I think it'll be a wonderful outcome. And thank you very much.
We love you all. Bye-bye.
Just as we give, so we receive. Richly we live in one golden week. There is nothing that we can lack. We give from love, love gives it back. Just as we give, so we receive. Richly we live in one golden week. There is nothing that we can lack. We give from love, love gives it back.
We will now hear again from our choir. Again, this is from Easter of last year. And they will be singing, "Make a Joyful Noise."
Enjoy with us a song we love, Make a Joyful Noise.
Joy
I hope you all enjoyed that, or were singing along, or standing up and clapping, whatever felt good to you, because we want to all celebrate this together. You know, at 8 o'clock at night, I go out on the back porch and I can hear everyone howling like coyotes in our area. You can hear it all over Novato. And it's a reminder that we're all in this together. So when we stand and when we sing, when we participate in this service, we're all doing it together. I want to thank our flower sponsor, Jerry and Dilk Young, in memory of your mother, Betty. Thank you so much. And Wendy Miley, in celebration of all the April birthdays, and there are a few. And also our hospitality sponsors, Joni Gabrielle, in celebration of love for my mom and sister, and Wendy Miley, again in celebration of all the April birthdays. Again, the prayer chaplains and our prayer ministry is here to pray with you. So if you would send your prayer request to Silent Prayer Circle at unityandmarin.org, or you can call us at 415-475-5000 and then press 8, and you can leave your prayer request on the message. And at this time, I would like for us to say together our prayer of protection. I don't know if you want to stand. I don't know if you're there with somebody, but let's all say this prayer of protection together. And this is a powerful prayer at all times, and I think especially at this time. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And let us all join together now in singing together our peace song. God bless you.